सो आज एक स्टोरी के साथ स्टार्ट करते हैं। ये स्टोरी बहुत पुरानी है, मतलब हज़ारों साल पुरानी। ये तब की बात है जब हम इंसान जंगल में रहा करते थे। अब ऑब्वियसली बहुत ज़्यादा खतरा होता था, शिकार करके पेट भरना पड़ता था, प्लस इतने सारे जंगली जानवर, और रात को अरे बाप रे बहुत खतरा था। पर वक्त के साथ साथ ये जो वुल्व्स थे ना, भेड़िया, उन्होंने ये सोचा कि अगर हम इन ह्यूमन सेटलमेंट के आसपास रहेंगे तो कुछ ना कुछ खाना तो मिल ही जाएगा। तो इन्होंने क्या किया कि रात को जब हम सोते थे तो ये देखते रहते थे कि कहीं कोई जंगली जानवर तो नहीं आ रहा है, और जैसे ही इन्हें दिखता था वो हमें अलर्ट कर देते थे। तो हम क्या करते थे कि जो खाना हम खाते थे हम उन्हें भी खिलाते थे। तो एक इंटरडिपेंडेंस बन गया था, मतलब वो हमें कंपेनियनशिप और सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं और हम उन्हें खाना। बट विद टाइम ये जो वुल्व्स थे, आपको पता है अब क्या बन गए हैं? एनी गेसेस? यस, दे आर नाउ डॉग्स। सो जब इन डॉग्स के साथ हमारा इतना पुराना रिश्ता है, तो फिर आज के इंसान उनसे डरते क्यों हैं, उन्हें भगा क्यों देते हैं? Want to find out? Keep watching. हेलो, मैं हूं अक्षत और आप देख रहे हैं नो किडिंग, जहां टॉपिक्स तो बच्चों से रिलेटेड होते हैं लेकिन बातें सीरियस होती हैं। एंड टुडे वी विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट चिल्ड्रन एंड सेंसिटिविटी टू एनिमल्स। अब आई नो कि आप में से बहुत लोगों को एनिमल्स पसंद हैं और कुछ ऐसे भी हैं जिन्हें पसंद नहीं है। सो यही हमें चेंज करना है। एंड फॉर दैट टुडे वी हैव आवर गेस्ट मिस्टर Shyamax Presswala, who is a businessman, an animal lover, and the founder of the Bark Group. So, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
And if you could just tell a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm Shyamax Presswala, the founder of the Bark Group. The Bark Group has three verticals: the Bark Club, which is an international standard pet boarding facility; the Bark Tub, we have various grooming branches all over Bombay;
Right.
and my latest baby is the Bark Traveler, which is a domestic and an international pet relocation company, headquarters in Bombay and branch offices in Bangalore and Delhi.
Superb, lovely, sir. So, I'll start with that in a country like India, how important is sensitivity towards animals? Because in India we see animals in the streets. So, how important is it?
I don't think sensitivity is country related. I think sensitivity is universal. And there are animals in all parts of the world. Only
Right.
thing, the population in India, both two-legged and four-legged, is way above the ones that are there abroad.
Right.
And there should always be sensitivity irrespective of whether there are 5 strays in a building or 50 strays in a building. It's basically live and let live theory that I believe in. And yes, I mean, if you start inculcating the sensitivity and the topic of strays from a young age among children in school, maybe in an ethics class or something like that, it will definitely help the future, because children are the future of the world.
Right, totally. But sir, I've seen that children naturally, they love dogs, cats, they love them. But with the growing age, they have that fear in them regarding those animals. So why is that?
See, I think children are very innocent when they're young. So they see a dog or they see a cat, they go and want to play with it just thinking it's a toy. Maybe they approach the dog or the cat in the wrong way, where the dog felt threatened, so that's why he attacked the child, or the cat felt threatened, that's why she scratched the child.
Right.
And maybe that has a lasting effect throughout the life of the child. Number one is that. Number two, yes, it's sad when children or human beings get bitten by dogs, or vice versa, when we hit dogs or we chase out cats from the society where they are born in. But I think it's like I said before, it's live and let live.
And that's great, sir. So, sir, how to, what's the process to improve the level of sensitivity or of kids towards animals? And how important is the role of the parents in that process?
Number one, school education. I think they should have something where they come under some concept where they teach you to be kind to animals. Not only dogs, cats, all animals in general, because no animal can talk, no animal can express fear, pain, or what they are going through at that particular time, if at all, and when they do attack, if they do attack.
Right.
And yes, parents play a very important role, because I have so many friends whose parents are not scared of Indies or dogs and cats in general, but the kids are scared. But I tell them so many times, use your personal experience and teach your child, just like you would teach him how to swim or you would teach him how to drive using your personal experience.
Right.
Use your personal experience and teach him, saying, okay, this dog is harmless, he won't do anything to you. Don't force him to do it, because then that will be stuck in his mind. Give him time, gradually get him used to the dog, gradually get him used to the cat. Here I feel, especially in India, and this is India related because most of my clients are India related, they say, okay, my child doesn't like a pet, my child doesn't like a dog, cat, it's okay, he won't, they are indifferent to each other. But what happens is, when that child grows up and falls in love with somebody who's a pet lover, what happens? That other pet lover gives up his dog, saying, my husband or my wife doesn't like the dog, so this dog is up for adoption. I have so many times people come and say, oh, we want to give our dog up because घर पे बच्चा हुआ है, doctor ने बोला it's bad for his health. So it's very, very important in today's day to inculcate humanitarian grounds both for other humans and animals in general. So in fact, if you ask me, every single household should not have one pet, but should have at least 2 pets if you have a big house to accommodate them. Keeping them in a small house is not fair, because they need the exercise. I have loads of dogs. My own, few adopted from the road, because during Diwali or Ganpati festival, they've got displaced from the place where they are. So I sheltered them for those couple of weeks, but then I didn't have the heart to put them back on the road. And I think having a dog at home helps you de-stress. And everyone has stress, from a child going to school with exams,
Right.
parents at work, grandparents. Trust me, there'll never be a dull moment at home if you have a dog. You can have the worst day in office, and I do have worst days, and everybody has bad days. But I know when I go home, my Shan and my golden retrievers and my other dogs are waiting for me. And they will not judge me saying, oh, you made a mistake. Oh, you lost so much money. Oh, you made a good decision. They're always standing at the door, wagging their tails, waiting for me to pet them. So yes, I would say get a dog, get a cat, get a pet. So in a country like India, where there are millions of people walking on the road and you can't ignore them, you can't ignore the traffic jams at the signal, the same way you can't ignore an indie or a cat or indie dog or an indie cat stray dog. So there are a couple of solutions. Number one, pet lovers like me should form groups in different societies in the place where we stay, and basically sterilize and neuter all the dogs. So basically reproduction does not happen. So number one is that. Number two is, there's something that I've started at the pet boarding, the Bark Club, is we train certain puppies from a young age, or even adult dogs, irrespective of their breeds, to become like emotional support dogs, where we primarily send them to schools from anywhere between 5 years to 12 years in age, where we basically teach teach kids over there, either with the teachers or with parents on the field day, how to interact with dogs, how to approach a dog, how not to show a dog that you're scared, because if you show a dog you're scared, the dog is even more scared of you. That's the sense that they have. That's the sixth sense that dogs have, animals have, that we don't have. So like I said, the only 2 ways I see it in today's day and age is basically sterilize and neuterize all the dogs, and number 2 is basically get over your fear from a young age, approach people like us or pet lovers in general and ask them for advice on how to approach a dog. Many people and many kids or even adults approach a dog with their hand over the dog's head, which for a dog, he has to look up at your head, he has to look up at your hand, means it's fear going into his head. So what and how you approach a pet is ideally go down at his eye level. So basically you all both have the same eye level coordination, and you let him smell you first and then you approach him.
Okay.
That's how you approach pets in general, whether street dogs or home pet domesticated dogs.
So when you watch a dog in the street, how can we tell what his behavior is? Like if he's angry or if he's scared, what are some of the ways to find out by just looking at them?
So it's not going to come naturally to everybody, it will come with time and with understanding of pets. But obviously if a dog is wagging his tail and running towards you, he wants you to basically pet him. more likely he wants food from you, which you should ideally go and buy from somewhere nearby and feed him.
Okay.
Number two is, now there are two things. Either a dog is scared, so he's barking, or a dog is aggressive and he's barking. So dog is scared and he's barking means he'll bark at a distance from you, but he won't come towards you. That's him trying to tell you that I'm scared of you. Do not approach me, please. Okay? And the third incident, and it doesn't usually happen, very rarely do you hear of dog attacking. But if a dog is charging towards you and he's barking his lungs out, means he's an aggressive dog. So I mean, you running or you showing aggression towards him is not the solution, my friends, because that's only going to get him agitated and more aggressive.
Right.
What you basically do is stay calm. I know it's difficult when you're in that situation,
Right.
but you stay calm, and most of the times he'll just basically come right next to you, barking, showing that he's not scared of you, but deep down inside he is. So do not run, because if you run, he's going to run after you.
Right.
Do not show aggression, because if you show aggression or you try and pick up a stone or something, he's anyway scared of you, and now he's seeing that you're doing something, so he's going to even attack you more.
Yeah.
So many times in India, you see that an Indie is running behind your bike or an Indie is chasing your car. So he's basically chasing it not because he's aggressive, he's just chasing it because he was sitting on the road and you zoomed past him, so he thought this is fun or this is something that is coming into my territory. So he's basically chasing you. He's not chasing you to tell you, bhai ruko, puncture hai ya bhai ruko, aapko kaatna hai. He's chasing you for fun. So stop your bike, stop your car. Obviously, please look behind before you stop it in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And you will see 9 out of 10 times he just sniffs around. Maybe he'll just pee on your tire and just go back and chill where he was chilling. So going faster or the person sitting behind you trying to kick him is not the solution.
Right. So when we see someone being insensitive to an animal, and if a child sees that, then what should he or she do?
Interesting question. Ideally, the child firstly should not learn from that, because he should never be mean to an animal in his future days or years. If the child knows the person as somebody, as his child's father or his child's uncle, or just knows the person, maybe he can just go and tell uncle, आपने ये क्यों किया, आपने गलत किया, आपको ये नहीं करना था.
Right.
Or if he doesn't know the person and he can't approach the person because obviously he's a child and that is the other person is an adult or maybe elder than him, then maybe just go home and narrate this incident to his family members, his parents, his grandparents, and if he can describe who the person is and the parents or the grandparents know, they can maybe just advise the other person not to do it. And if he can't, his parents should tell him that, okay, beta, jo aapne dekha aaj, do not do it, it's not the right way to live. I mean, they usually say you watch and learn, but in this case, please don't watch and learn, because if you see somebody being aggressive towards a pet or an animal on the road, and you see that he's gotten scot-free, you may think, oh, it's a cool thing to do, or if I hit a dog and run away, or if I hit a dog, nobody will tell me anything, because he's a dog and I'm a human. But do not do that. So try and be as sensitive as possible. Sensitivity and humanity, I think everyone is born with.
So while dealing with someone else's pet, then what things should we be mindful of?
So while dealing with other pets or street animals, basically, yes, obviously if it's a pet, you can ask the owner the nature of the pet. Is he friendly? Is he aggressive? And then approach the pet. If the owner says, let the pet first smell you, let him get used to you, and then walk into the house, respect it. Don't think, मैं तो उनका neighbor हूँ, ये तो कुत्ता है, मैं तो चला जाऊँगा अंदर. It doesn't work like that, because that kutta stays in their house, you don't stay in their house. So yeah. Number two is, unfortunately, there are notions that certain breeds are aggressive and certain breeds are the most friendliest. Honestly, that's wrong, because you can have the most friendliest pit bull or Rottweiler who are termed as aggressive dogs, and you can have like the most aggressive Labrador or Golden Retriever who are termed as family and friendly dogs. So it's basically how a person brings up his pet. And how a person trains his pet. So there's nothing like a bad dog, there's nothing like an aggressive dog. It's us human beings who basically train a dog to be a particular way or act a particular way, because we've got the dog for a particular purpose. Like if you see in the armed forces or your airport security zones, most of the dogs are Labrador dogs who are trained to detect terrorists, who are trained to detect bombs, etc. If that same puppy was picked up by another family member who's getting that dog home as a family dog, he would have acted completely different because he was trained differently. So there's nothing like a breed specific aggressive dog or a breed specific friendly dog. So that's one notion that everybody actually needs to get out of their head.
Thank you, sir, for a lovely session, and I believe the people, those who love animals would have enjoyed this, and those who don't would have understood a lot of things and learned a lot of things. So thanks a lot, sir.
I hope so too, and thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
So whenever you see an animal on the street, just remember this, that just like human beings, the only thing that they want is compassion, love and kindness. और अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके पास एनिमल्स के रिगार्डिंग बहुत ज़्यादा नॉलेज आ गया है, तो कोई बात नहीं, आप चाहिए माइंड वॉर्स ऐप पे और वहाँ के लिए एनिमल किंगडम का क्विज. और हाँ, मिलते हैं फिर से अगले एपिसोड में एक और नए एक्सपर्ट के साथ, जिनके साथ हम डिस्कस करेंगे एक और इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक जो होगा बच्चों से रिलेटेड. सो नो किडिंग, गुड बाय फ्रॉम अक्षत सिंह.
जल्दी से प्ले स्टोर पर जाकर माइंड वॉर्स का नया ऐप डाउनलोड कीजिए. खेलिए बहुत सारे क्विजेस which bridge the gap between studies and your buddies, और पाओ गेम्स खेलते खेलते स्टडी करने का मजा. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now.